Ever felt the chilling grip of unspoken fear, whispering that love could vanish? Jenna knew this terror well. Her constant questions pushed David away, creating the very distance she dreaded. But what if naming that fear could heal it? This story reveals how confronting our deepest anxieties can transform relationships and help us build an unshakable anchor within ourselves. It was a quiet evening at home. Jenna sat on the couch, clutching her throw blanket, while David sat across from her, lost in thought. The silence was heavy, filled with unspoken fears that swirled in Jenna's mind. He's pulling away. He's found someone else. He's going to leave me. The fear of abandonment gnawed at her, relentless and cruel. It was an old ghost she had carried inside her for as long as she could remember. "Sad, are you mad at me?" she asked, her voice trembling. David blinked, caught off guard. "No, I am just tired," he said softly. "Is everything okay with us?" she pressed, her tone almost pleading. David shifted in his seat, his exhaustion growing heavier beneath her relentless questions. "Jenna, I'm just worn out from work," he said, trying to keep his voice patient. "Do you still love me?" she whispered, her voice cracking. David sighed, a deep sound filled with weariness. "I do, Jenna. I love you very much." The words should have been enough, but in Jenna's stormy mind, each reassurance felt fleeting, like sand slipping through her fingers. Her fear wasn't about David's actual feelings, it was about the dread that love, no matter how strong, could vanish without warning. She felt trapped in a whirlwind, caught between the desperate desire to hold him close and the terror that the harder she tried, the faster he might slip away. David looked at her, really looked, his eyes soft but heavy. "Jenna, I feel like nothing I say is ever enough," he confessed, his voice low and trembling with fatigue and frustration. His words hit her like a shock of ice water, piercing through the thick fog of fear. In trying to hold on to him with questions and need, Jenna had unwittingly drawn a wide rift between them. The chasm she feared had begun to form, built by the very anxiety she wanted to soothe. Tears welled up in her eyes as she saw the genuine exhaustion etched on his face, the way his shoulders slumped as if carrying not just work's burden but the weight of her fears. The panic inside her slowly softened, melting into a deep, aching sadness. It was a moment of raw truth, unguarded and painful. "It's not you," she whispered, her voice shaking. "It's me. I'm always waiting for you to leave." Naming her fear was like cutting a tether that had bound her tightly to her anxiety. It was a fragile step toward carving a space where the love between them didn't have to be drenched in constant doubt. She wasn't asking for reassurance anymore, but acknowledging the pain inside herself. A pain that wasn't David's doing. David reached out, gently taking her hand. "Thank you for telling me," he said quietly. "I want to understand what you're going through." Jenna looked into his eyes, seeing not just patience, but a genuine willingness to be there with her, even in the hard moments. It was something new, something hopeful. Over the next weeks, Jenna began learning to listen to that fear when it whispered, not with panic, but with curiosity. She discovered tools to calm her racing thoughts, like journaling and mindfulness. Moments when she could recognize the ghost of abandonment for what it was, a lingering shadow from her past, not a prediction of the future. She started to trust David's steadiness more, realizing that his love was like an anchor in her stormy sea. He wasn't perfect, and sometimes he grew tired, but he was hers, steady and true. And she was beginning to find the strength within herself to be more steady too, not because she stopped fearing, but because she began to understand that fear is only part of the story, not the whole. The anchor was no longer something she grasped at anxiously. It became a symbol of hope she held gently. A promise that love, when named and shared honestly, could weather the fiercest storms. And in that quiet evening, as they sat together, the silence was no longer heavy with fear, but filled with something softer, the calm before a new beginning. Jenna started attending therapy sessions to delve deeper into the roots of her emotional abandonment fears, seeking professional guidance to navigate her anxieties. David began educating himself about anxiety and emotional abandonment, seeking to understand Jenna's experiences and provide informed support. They established a new routine of open and honest communication, creating a safe space for Jenna to express her fears without judgment. Together, they explored techniques to challenge Jenna's negative thought patterns, replacing fear with rational thinking and self-compassion. Jenna found solace in creative expression, using art and writing to process her emotions and build a stronger sense of self-identity. They celebrated each small victory in Jenna's journey, reinforcing her courage and fostering a deeper sense of security within their relationship. As time passed, Jenna's fears began to diminish, replaced by a growing sense of trust and a newfound belief in her own resilience and worth.